Good evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I am Adana Doric with the Monday, May 18th edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, President Ali unveils major digital banking system to modernize Ghana's economy. Ghana's sovereignty not for sale or taking, President Ali declares. Police probe escape of remanded prisoner from LUSIGNAN prison. And Guyana launches massive global tourism blitz ahead of 2026 Diamond Jubilee. Now for the news in depth. Declaring that Guyana's sovereignty is not for sale and not for taking, President Irfan Ali issued a stark warning against domestic and foreign threats ahead of the nation's 60th independence anniversary. Here's more.
Addressing members of the disciplined services during the Joint Services Route March salute, Guyana's Commander-in-Chief praised the Guyana Defense Force, the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana Prison Service, the Guyana Fire Service, and other security agencies for their dedication and service to the country. He said the nation's stability and growing development are possible because of the work being done daily by the men and women in uniform and the sacrifices made by their families.
Guyana's sovereignty is not for sale and not for taking. And our joint services have the mission of ensuring that mission remains true.
Reflecting on Guyana's independence journey since 1966, President Ali said independence was not simply a ceremonial achievement, but a promise to defend the country's freedom, territorial integrity, and national unity. He noted that the ceremonial march represented a renewal of that commitment and reminded citizens that protecting the country remains an ongoing responsibility. The head of state also warned that Guyana's natural wealth and growing economy could attract external pressures and threats. He stressed that the soldiers guarding the borders, Coast Guard officers monitoring the seas, and members of the Air Corps protecting the skies play a crucial role in ensuring that Guyana's territorial integrity remains secure and non-negotiable.
Do not mistake our peace for weakness. Do not mistake any aspect of our national life for a lack of strength. Behind our diplomacy stands a disciplined force, and behind that force stands a people who will not barter their birthright. 60 years ago, we said we are free. Today we say we are free.
President Ali urged citizens to support the joint services while also holding them accountable when necessary. He warned against division and disunity, saying a united Guyana is stronger against any threat, while encouraging young people to embrace patriotism, discipline, and service as Guyana advances towards a stronger future.
With the historic 2026 Diamond Jubilee approaching, Guyana is leveraging major cultural events to permanently reshape its international identity and capture that global experimental travel market. Details in this report.
Rodriguez explained that Guyana's growing tourism profile is not accidental, but the result of structured development supported by sustained investment in infrastructure, service delivery, and visitor experience. She said the country's approach now goes beyond hosting events, focusing instead on shaping how Guyana is perceived internationally.
After 12 years, the Guyana Festival has returned under the theme Sound, Soul, and Taste. The Guyana Festival occurs during a period of unprecedented transformation in Guyana, a period in which our country is attracting global attention, expanding economically, strengthening internationally, and redefining its place in the world.
She added that major cultural and entertainment events, including the Guyana Festival, are part of a wider national strategy to showcase the country's identity while reinforcing its emergence as a tourism destination in the region. The minister pointed to increasing international media attention as evidence that Guyana's efforts are gaining traction, noting coverage from global platforms such as Bloomberg, Time Magazine, and the New York Times, which have highlighted the country's growing appeal. Rodriguez said tourism today is driven by experience, authenticity, and storytelling, stressing that Guyana's cultural diversity and natural attractions give it a strong comparative advantage in an evolving global market. She also emphasized that tourism is now being integrated into broader national development planning with links to economic diversification, job creation, and support for small businesses.
Guyana is transforming. For many Guyanese abroad, Guyana is still the place that shaped their values, their memories, and their identity. This festival creates an opportunity for our diaspora to reconnect, not only with family and friends, but with a nation that is entering a new era of growth and possibility. At the same time, Guyana Festival is also a direct invitation to the international community, to travelers, investors, cultural explorers, and the global tourism industry. We are inviting the world to come and experience Guyana.
The Guyana Festival 2026 is a major national cultural celebration held as part of Guyana's 60th independence anniversary, its Diamond Jubilee, and it was designed to showcase the country's music, food, art, heritage, and multi-ethnic identity on a large international stage. Held at the National Stadium at Providence, the festival brought together performers, cultural groups, artisans, and exhibitors from across the country under the theme Song, Soul, and Taste. It is one of the flagship events of the Independence celebration and ran as a multi-day cultural showcase.
Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the escape of a remanded prisoner from LUSIGNAN prison, which reportedly occurred sometime between 8 hours and 16 hours on Sunday, May 17, 2026. The prisoner, identified as Adrian Damdar of Graham Street, Better Hope, East Coast, Demerara, was on remand at the facility since January 14, 2026, in relation to 2 counts of threatening language. According to reports, prison officials discovered that the inmate was missing during routine checks, prompting an alert and subsequent police investigation. Police ranks have since been deployed as inquiries continue into how the escape occurred and whether any security breaches were involved. Further details are expected as the investigation progresses. More news after the break. Stay tuned.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026, and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GCOM registration office that is responsible for your area of residence to apply for registration, name change, or correction. You must have the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate or valid passport in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026, and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all Guyanese who meet the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. By so doing, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official list of electors for future elections, provided you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. President Dr. Irfan Ali has unveiled a massive overhaul of Guyana's financial sector, introducing a real-time payment infrastructure to boost public confidence and eliminate banking delays. More in this report. Speaking at the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry GBTI's 190th anniversary gala over the weekend, the head of state said the country's expanding economy and stable banking system are laying the foundation for a new era of financial growth and inclusion. President Ali highlighted that Guyana's banking sector remains strong, well capitalized, and capable of supporting the country's rapid economic expansion. He noted that private sector credit grew by 20.4% in 2025, describing it as one of the clearest indicators of confidence in the financial system and the wider economy.
But that is the magic of banking. It is not merely about money. It is about confidence, trust, stability, and the institutions that quietly underpin the progress of nations.
The president said lending growth has been spread across multiple industries, including construction, agriculture, wholesale, and retail and services, demonstrating that Guyana's economy is diversifying rather than depending on a single sector. According to him, the broad-based expansion reflects an economy growing on many pillars. He also pointed to increasing savings and deposits within the banking system, noting that higher saving levels signals greater disposable income and stronger financial security among citizens and businesses. President Ali explained that a growing domestic saving base provides long-term stability for investment and national development. Looking ahead, the president announced that Guyana's real-time payment system is expected to launch in June, while the UPI platform developed through India's digital payment architecture will further modernize financial transactions. He said both initiatives will create a faster, safer, and more inclusive payment environment for consumers and businesses across the country.
Quality life, quality community service, quality families, and quality time. Quality time is not only what we spend in entertainment areas, but how families can enjoy their own private space. So that's the first issue. I saw some comments, weird comments by the way, and I needed to address this first issue. The second issue that I think is important for us to address is this issue of confidence. We, all of us in this country, every single one of us in this room and out of this room, we have a duty to our country. I am not asking for anyone to exercise this duty for any politician or political party. I'm asking every Guyanese as we celebrate our 60th anniversary to exercise a duty as a patriot, a duty to project our country, a duty to ensure the confidence in our country is not undermined by our own action and our own behavior. The story of Guyana is best told by those who live here.
President Ali also commended GBTI for its continued investment in innovation, technology, and national development. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News. A major power outage hit parts of Demerara and Berbice today after an excavator struck a transmission line operated by Guyana Power and Light GPL at Grove, East Bank, Demerara. The incident at about 10:17 hours caused a system fault and temporary loss of power across several areas. GPL confirmed the damage was caused by excavation work near the line. Emergency crews restored electricity by 11:37 hours and investigations are ongoing. GPL has warned contractors to coordinate all works near power infrastructure to avoid similar disruptions. Guyanese creatives and athletes are on the verge of massive international exposure as Minister Stephen Jacobs unveils a sweeping strategy to monetize the nation's cultural assets. Details in this report.
Speaking on the latest edition of the Starting Point podcast, the minister said government investments in infrastructure, sports tourism, and the orange economy are aimed at diversifying the country beyond oil and gas while building sustainable opportunities for young people and creatives. Minister Jacobs explained that the government has already begun extensive community development projects across the country, including the rehabilitation of grounds and recreational facilities from regions 1 to 10. According to the minister, the initiative is not only about improving infrastructure infrastructure, but also about engaging communities and shaping policies based on residents' concerns and needs.
Of course, that's very, very important. The policies should be shaped by the people of Guyana. So consultations and listening to people and understanding them is very much important in the way how we craft our policies. And that is really being what the government and the People's Progressive Party has been about, and especially His Excellency, and how we would want to see Guyana. And so it was, at the start, it was easy for me to obviously get involved because it's already set. So I'm enjoying every single moment of it.
The minister revealed that every community ground across Guyana has been mapped and photographed as part of a nationwide development plan. He said new community committees are already being established with representatives from local government bodies, religious organizations, the Office of the President, and the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport to ensure issues affecting recreational spaces are addressed more efficiently. Minister Jacobs also highlighted major plans to transform Georgetown into a clean and more tourism-friendly capital city through improved roads, drainage systems, walkways, cycle lanes, and the preservation of heritage sites. He pointed to ongoing projects in communities such as Tiger Bay and East Ramville, where redevelopment works are expected to improve living conditions and increase property values. Speaking on the government's push to expand the orange economy, Jacobs said investments are being made in music, fashion, entertainment, and sports tourism to create new streams of revenue and employment. He noted that major events, including international concerts, motorsport competitions, and cricket tournaments, are expected to boost economic activity across multiple sectors.
It is creating an environment where our creatives can have a space to flourish, and also for them to benefit from their creativity. Because many of them will ask the question or to say that they don't benefit. But we're actually showing you how you benefit by pulling together these events. You will benefit. And then center to that is sports tourism.
Yes.
Very key. That is why we're bringing a whole host of tournaments here. I spoke of the GT Challenge in Parliament. And then you're going to see what's going to happen on the 11th and 12th of July right here, the South Dakota Circuit. And that is something that is happening for the first time in the Caribbean. And it's being hosted here in Guyana, where you have cars from all across Central America, Latin America, South America.
The minister further disclosed that new recording studios and upgrades to the National School of Music are in the pipeline to support local musicians and performers. He said the government is also pursuing partnerships with regional and international artists and industry professionals to help Guyanese talent gain exposure and compete on the global stage while ensuring that young people are equipped to take advantage of emerging opportunities in the country's rapidly evolving economy.
More news after the break. Stay tuned.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Alberttown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, primetime, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. Blindness has never stopped advocate Leroy Phillips from living a full life, and now the SEN teacher is challenging Guyana to shatter societal barriers during Blindness Awareness Month. Here's more. Phillips explained that the cause of his blindness remains unknown, but after nearly 30 years of living without sight, he has embraced his reality with confidence. He noted that he is completely blind and experiences total darkness, but has never allowed his condition to define him.
It's a mystery, one that is unsolved and will remain so, but that is so because I'm comfortable in life. So I know your listeners / viewers will hear a blind person making that kind of statement and they would want like, does he want to see back again? No. So my blindness, whatever may have caused it, will forever be unsolved because I'm very comfortable with life since age 6 to present.
The advocate recalled facing challenges as a child, often injuring himself while trying to continue playing and exploring like other children. However, he credited his family and community for treating him equally and helping him build resilience and independence. Phillips also reflected on barriers within the education system, noting that there were limited trained teachers and resources for visually impaired students during his childhood. Despite those challenges, he later became part of the first batch of blind students in Guyana to sit the CSEC examinations. Beyond academics, Phillips said sports such as blind cricket and goalball transformed his life by helping him travel, build confidence, and advocate for disability awareness across Guyana and the Caribbean.
It's all part and parcel of awareness sharing in our community.
Indeed.
If I don't appear at a bar or a club or on the road or in the street corner and do all kinds of things, hang and have a few beers or whatever with persons, education about disability would not be shared so easily, right? So everywhere I go, and I like to go everywhere, I like to go places, I spread awareness on blindness, whatever person may be keen on knowing, right? So I'm very much involved in sports. I play blind cricket since 2006. That I credit blind cricket a whole lot for most of the things that has happened to me in life so far. So I truly want to extend thanks to the Guyana Blind Cricket Association for what it has done to me since I was introduced to that sport. Recently, I started playing a new sport called goalball. Goalball, like cricket, is also doing some transformational stuff because both sports has really, both of them have allowed me to travel the world.
Phillips, who previously worked in broadcasting at the National Communications Network, now uses his experiences as a teacher and advocate to support children with disabilities and promote a more inclusive society. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News. In tonight's regional news, a late-night shooting at the local bar has left one man dead in Cassava Peace, Kingston, Jamaica. Investigators say around 11 p.m., two masked men walked into an establishment on Cassava Peace Road. While one assailant ordered a drink, the second accomplice approached the victim, identified as Mr. Ellis. Following a brief, tense conversation between the two, gunfire shattered the room. The masked suspects fled the scene immediately. Patrons discovered Ellis on the floor with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. First responders rushed the victim to Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. Detectives from the Constant Spring Police Department are currently leading the murder investigation. No suspects are in custody at this time. Internationally, the World Health Organization has declared the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Uganda a global health emergency. Driven by the rare Bundibugyo virus, the epidemic poses a severe regional threat following initial testing delays and accelerating cases in unstable border zones. Containment faces a critical bottleneck due to a total absence of approved vaccines or therapies for this specific strain. Because existing vaccines only targets the Zaire variant, the WHO is rushing emergency teams to the area to bolster tracking while advising against international border closures. Those are our major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GUYTV9. I'm Adana Doric. Thank you for watching.